Hey everybody, St. Paul Peterson here, and welcome to episode 67 of Music on the Run. This was taken from our interviews at the Electro Voice booth at the last NAMM show. My guest this time, an incredible guitarist. He's hilarious, he's a badass, he's a clinician, and he has his son on the road with him as well. Koch is my next guest on Music on the Run.
Hey, NAMM, how you doing? Let me hear you out there. My name is Paul Peterson, and you guys are here for my podcast called Music on the Run, and I'm so glad to be back in front of a live audience here at the 2025 NAMM show, and we're so happy to have been invited back by Electro Voice. So thank you to Michael Dussault and his team. Let's hear it up for Electro Voice. Thank you to my producer, Davide Rosso, and he's making everything work back there. I sure appreciate it. Are you ready to meet my guest? Are you? All right. My guest is a world-class guitarist who seamlessly melds rock, blues, jazz, and a little chicken picking all into one. He's hilarious. He's not right. He's part Yosemite Sam, part Robin Williams. Please welcome the Gristle Man himself, Koch. Come on out here.
Picture looks like I'm smelling something.
You are smelling.
Which mic should I use?
Something
here?
is
It's so hard.
I think you should come in the middle because we might have a special guest join us.
Oh, that's right.
Unless your knees don't fit underneath there, which is very possible. Hello, young man.
How's it going?
It's so nice to have you here at
So
NAMM.
good to be here.
We are Midwestern. We are bonded by being from the Midwest.
That's correct.
Easy for me to say.
Yes, you are from, of course, the dual metropolitan complex of Minneapolis and St. Paul.
And you are from the beer-wielding Milwaukee.
That's correct.
You are. That's right.
Milwaukee, the good land, if you will.
You must explain yourself. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, it all started when George and Rosemary began on a winter's night.
Was it cold?
And I believe it was.
Yes. You have to explain the Gristlemobile, the Gristle this. What is the Gristle Man? Where
Well,
did it come from?
this is an interesting question. So years ago, we were doing a house gig at a delicious establishment on the east side of Milwaukee.
Ooh,
with
do tell.
Kind of an offshoot group of buddies of mine. We wanted to do a little house gig at this place called the Up and Under, which is sadly no longer there. But for many years, it was a fine repository of music and debauchery.
Ooh.
And so on Thursday nights, we took to song. And with my buddy Bill Stone, and with frequent mispronunciations of my name,
yes,
we had the Stone Koch Blues Band, you say. And so after we'd get done engaging in spirited musical congress, often we were fueled by a few fermented beverages. I don't do that anymore, mind you, Paul. But back in the day, I was quite enthusiastic about
and
the
experienced.
process. Indeed.
Yes.
And so we frequently go out for late night cuisine. So we were at this one establishment, and one thing led to another, and there was a fine food fight that broke out. And it went out into the parking lot, and nourishment of various kinds was being flung about by its projectiles. And a piece of gristle ended up on the marquee of this theater next door. And for some reason, I was shouting, "Pound the gristle." And ever since then, Pound the Gristle was kind of if we were going to take the stage and play vigorous musical activity, we were going to go pound the gristle.
Yes.
If it was date night, you were going to pound the gristle.
I see.
Anything. It became the catch-all for us. And then I just became the Gristle Man as the purveyor of all of these various activities.
Fantastic. Became your theme.
If you will. It's
life.
the intersection where all that is right meets all that is wrong.
Oh.
Can you dig it?
And what a wonderful intersection that is.
Indeed it is. Where there's fat, there's flavor, Paul.
That's true.
Remember that.
Might be chewy, but who cares?
That's right.
You are at NAMM, and what do you come here to do? What's your favorite thing to do when you're here? What is NAMM for you?
I like to examine people's breath when I'm here because you encounter a variety of people and there's various toxins that you take in.
Yes.
Some of it's cinnamony. Some of it's spearmint, and some of it's just straight ass. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of take it all in and say, people, what a wonderful bouquet.
Yeah, sometimes I can smell their liver.
If you will,
Yes.
sometimes their personal habits are manifest in their oral discharge.
That is true.
That sounded weird, but I dug it.
I think it's all-
I do all kinds of stuff with various different manufacturers.
Tell me about your guitar or your signature guitar.
Well, for years and years and years, I came here because I was kind of Fender's dude that went all over the world and did concerts and clinics and whatnot. So for a good chunk of years, that's what I came here to do, to Fenderize and to tenderize people.
Yes.
And then one thing led to another, and they sold their company to this, that, and the next thing, and I didn't want to have to schmooze another cabal. You know what I'm saying? So I moved on.
That was it.
Schmoozing Cabals. That's
a great band name.
That's a new podcast.
It is. Schmoozing Cabals will be right back.
Exactly. So I did a thing with Fishman, and my buddy Larry Fishman, we had this new technology for guitar pickups. So I started doing guitar pickups with them. And then I became really good buddies with the people from Reverend Guitars from beautiful Toledo, Ohio. And I had some ideas for some guitars.
Yeah.
And they were cool with using the Fishman pickup. So we started to do these collaborations. So I have 3 signature guitars with Reverend featuring these Fishman Fluence pickups, which are delicious. I also have a new pedal that came out. There's a Greek pedal maker by the name of Jam, Jam,
Right.
and they make delicious analog, vintage style guitar pedals, but they do little tweaks on all that kind of stuff. So I've been using their stuff for years. So they said, why don't we do a pedal together? And we did. And they actually came up with the name, the Koch Nest Monster. So there is a Koch Nest Monster and a Koch Nest Monster Supreme. And those just came out. And they're awesome. Because I literally show up at a gig with one of those things, plug into one end, out the other, and it's got everything I need to annihilate.
What separates the regular from the Supreme?
Well, the regular, if you will,
Yes.
has 4 pedals, where
Okay.
the Supreme has like 12.
Ooh.
Now, I don't use all at the same time, Paul, but I like to have a little bit of, it's a palette.
It's a little spice.
I can go schwoidle.
A little something here, a little oregano here.
Schwoidle, schweedle, and next thing you know, a fine bouquet of sound.
Is it inspiring then?
It is indeed, and it's orange.
Is it? Oh,
Because I got a thing with orange.
I've seen it. All right, I got orange on.
That's right. You got the memo.
I wore my finest for you today.
I can dig it.
I was trying to impress you.
Nah,
I've seen the pedal, and it is beautiful.
It is.
It really is. But you have to step on it.
You do. You have to flog it with your feet.
You are nuts. There's something definitely wrong with you.
Well, we're from behind. I'm from behind the Cheddar Curtain. So
You are.
of Wisconsin.
We shouldn't be friends, by the way.
Well, my wife's from Minneapolis.
Oh, but then-
my beautiful wife. You know where I met her?
No.
I'll tell the story.
You must.
There was a summer in college. I was majoring in, I was really majoring in beer, but under the auspices of music, the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point. And a bunch of people from the music department got jobs in Minnesota at Valley Fair. So I played at Valley Fair
No,
one
you did
particular summer of 1988.
Oh.
And
A thankless job, by the way.
indeed.
You'll
So-
do 17,000 sets and not get paid.
That's exactly correct. Actually, we did get paid like $75 a week or something.
Oh, you did? That's generous.
It was indeed.
Yes.
And my particular thing that I played in was half Whitney Houston medley and half country medley. So by the time 6 o'clock in the evening rolled around, I was ready for some more of that aforementioned fermented entertainment.
Did they sell that at that particular amusement park, though?
They did not, but one thing I did realize about Minnesota that's very different from Wisconsin is that on Sundays you can only buy 3-2 beer in Minnesota, at least at that time.
At that time, they finally woke up and smelled the roses.
And for a seasoned booze troglodyte such as myself, that
Yes.
was harsh learning.
That's true. You have to drive 3 hours to the border to Wisconsin.
Well, I would just get a case of it and drink a case and be, barely buzzed. You're like, what's going on? 3-2 beer, that's what's going on. Anyway, so during that summer, I went to a party because my wife went to school at the College of St. Catherine.
Oh, sure.
And buddy
Good Catholic college.
No, indeed, the Church of Rome.
Hi.
So lo and behold, I met her at an establishment. She came in with some other friends. She was a little tipsy. She was insulting everybody in the establishment. I said, that's the girl for me.
I love her.
And one thing led to another, and now 31 years later, love, exciting and new. And we have 4 beautiful children. But my oldest is here, who plays drums in my ensemble.
What? Bring him up here. Come on. What's your name? Dylan.
Dylan.
Let's bring Dylan up here. Bam.
Dylan.
Bam, bam,
Dylan.
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 What's happening?
Dylan, I have to ask, how is it, or how was it, how currently is it to have to deal with your father on this level all the time, and now you're in his band?
Well, I'll tell you the most common question that I'll get is he actually like that? And I'm like, 150%. What you see on the internet, what you see in these kinds of situations is what you get 100% of the time.
That's right. There's no pageantry. There's no act. This ain't show business.
No.
This is hell.
Yeah.
I think he's highly caffeinated. Is that what it is?
150%.
That's fact.
Yeah.
Are you as nuts as your father?
I have my moments.
Yes. Are you as loud as your father?
I also have my moments there
You do?
as well. Yes.
You are a drummer.
Yes. And a loud one at that.
Yes. He's
I
not afraid.
bet you sound men love you.
Oh my God, they love me so much.
Well, let's just put it this way. Have you seen us? They don't have a choice.
There you go. So you two are on the road with each other. When did that start? Did you take him when he was like 12? You shall be playing drums.
Well, what was strange about it is that he just kind of gravitated to it. When he was a real little kid, he would grab like soup spoons and whatnot, and he would hear music, and he would just kind of play along. And then, I'd have friends over at the house, and music would be on, and he would just like grab things, like hit pillows. But he instinctively knew where 2 and 4 was, and he would like hear stops, even though he's never heard the song before.
Yeah.
My friends would be like, "What's with the kid?" I was like, "I have no idea.
He's got it.
He's whatever that it is." And then,
Right.
then he started. So we got him a little kit when he was like 2 or 3. But it wasn't until he was about in 5th grade that he started to play quite a bit. But the moment I knew he was ready for action was him and a bunch of his debaucherous friends, which by the way, now that I'm, it's many years have passed and we're on the road, he'll start telling stories of his high school exploits.
Yeah.
I had no idea of the carnage.
He hit it well, as all children do.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's impressive.
I hit it well when I was a kid.
Well, exactly.
My mother probably had no idea. I was praying that you wouldn't hear me come in the front door. I just, stop squeaking.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So him and his buddies we did a gig in our hometown of beautiful Wauwatosa, Wisconsin.
Wow, what toast?
Wauwatosa. And we were playing, and Dylan was there with his buddies. And I asked my drummer at the time, I was like, "Hey, do you mind if Dylan sits in for a song?" He's like, "Oh, that's all right." So Dylan gets up there, and I say, "Well, what song do you want to play?" He goes, "Let's do one of those Band of Gypsies songs, like that Message to Love song." I go, "Really?" He's like, "Absolutely." So I counted it off, and he annihilated it. And there's actually video footage of it on
Is that right?
on the Intergoogle. And I was like, interesting. And so then just from there, he was playing in various different jazz bands and whatnottery. So he was getting trained in the ways of the night. But then at one point, so he played in the band for a while. We did a little tour of Europe. And he came back. He went up to school at McNally Smith for a while.
Yeah.
And then was doing gigs
Yeah.
with various different people up in the cities. And then he came back home, and then he was going up and playing. And then he would come back home. He's like, "You got to hear this keyboard player, this guy, Toby Marshall. We should jam with him."
He's
I go,
from Minneapolis, isn't he?
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So he kept on telling me about this keyboard player. So finally, this organ player. So then finally, Toby was coming down to Milwaukee to buy a Leslie speaker. And Dylan's like, "We got to jam with this Toby guy."
Yeah.
And so one Thursday afternoon, after Dylan was like, "We got to jam. And I was like, "Well, we'll just go down to the basement and mess around. I got a keyboard down there." He's like, "Well, there's no Hammond down there. He's not going to play that piece of shit we have down there." So I'm like, "Well, what do you suggest?" He goes, "Well, let's move the furniture and we'll move the B3 in here." I was like, "Oh, yeah, your mom's going to dig that." So I called up the studio that I knew had a B3. And the guy's like, "Yeah, come on over about 2 o'clock. I'll have everything mic'd up and ready to go, and you guys can play." I'm like, "Awesome." He goes, "I'll record it." So the very first tune we ended up playing, he came in, we made sure the stuff sounded good, and I said, "Let's just do a shuffle in G and see what happens." And that became the first tune on the record that we ended up putting out. The very first moments we ever played together. It was like an instantaneous conflagration.
Indeed.
So the first 2 tunes on the record are the first 2 tunes we ever played.
Which record?
It's called Koch Marshall Trio, Toby Arrives, because he did.
He
Yes.
did. So that's the name of the band is the
Koch Marshall Trio. Though
Trio.
nowadays we say Greg Koch with Koch Marshall Trio because people need to be told under no uncertain terms of what they're seeing. And for a
Yes.
while, there's like, well, is that your band? Or why do it's, so
Okay.
we had to put Greg Koch Marshall, not because I'm a narcissist, but
Well, maybe.
but also just so people could find where we're at.
Yes.
Got it. But tell me what that experience was like when Dad gave you the nod and was like, "Do you want to do this?"
Well, it was one of those things where it was something that I always pursued myself. I mean, and, the music was just around all the time. There was not a single car ride where there wasn't a cool record playing or something that I was interested in. So it was a fairly natural progression. But as far as gigging with them, I mean, we always jammed in the basement. We always would do random gigs at, northern Wisconsin, just random things that would come up. But as far as this particular lineup, I mean, I was just already doing gigs around Minnesota with other people. Meeting Toby, I mean, it was actually in Wisconsin, a small town, Hammond, Wisconsin, actually, funny enough.
Fun.
Yeah, so we were playing, and he unloads his stuff. And at the time he was retired, he was working at a farm, he was raising kids. So he's just doing gigs randomly for fun, not seriously pursuing it. And he brought out a real Chop B3. And so I hear this thing, hear him play it, and I'm going, there's no way this guy is not gigging all the time,
Yeah.
I got to know him, and he told me that he wasn't gigging all that much, he's kind of taking a back seat. I'm like, well, that's going to change, buddy,
Yeah.
So I had to introduce him to my pops. So, and you know how it is when your kid tells you this, hey, Dad, this guy's really good. You should check him out, huh?
Great, I can jam with my friend's son.
Yeah,
my
there you
son's
go.
friends.
Yeah, it's not the most enticing offer, but
said
I'm
that
glad that it worked out, and I'm glad that the first track was so solidified, because now we got a great touring thing out of it. Yeah. But it definitely took a little angling. It took a little time, took many reminders, many conversations, because I mean, if my kid came to me with an offer, I probably wouldn't listen. So
I think the word you're looking for is cajoling.
Cajoling.
Yes. Chortling. Yes.
I believe it is. Well, that's great. Is he good? Is he a good boss?
Oh, absolutely.
Does he pay well?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. It's paying my rent, paying my groceries, I mean, it's great. And the thing about it is there's not a boss, kind of vibe. Everybody's in it as a team. Everybody has their function. Everybody knows what to do. And as the head of the brand, I kind of enjoy some anonymity because I don't have to go to the merch table and shake every single hand, because
He does.
I do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does it, and he does it well. That is his thing. So, I mean, yeah, the whole boss thing, that kind of relationship isn't really as stringent as you would think whatsoever,
I'm not a mean boss.
Yes.
Unless, of course, he plays in the holes or
Yes.
does something incorrect.
Yes. Then
Then there's hell to pay, man.
Then there's the eyebrow.
the stank eye.
That's
Yes.
That's right.
Absolutely.
It will come your way.
I definitely have that kind of facial Tourette's thing when I hear, because I hear, as you listen, right?
Yes, you do.
And you hear things.
Yes.
And I just go,
Sometimes they're not pleasant. Yeah.
and then there's nothing that really needs to be said because it was said with
Right.
my cranium
Yes.
and eyebrows.
Does that also go with like a 50-cent fine or anything like that?
No, there are no
There are no fines.
there are no fines.
It must be amazing to work with your kid. I mean, I love playing with my family. Get to play with my brother Ricky, whom
Yeah.
I know you know.
Yeah.
Brother Billy.
Yes.
Sisters Patty and Linda. There's nothing like the chemistry of family because
Absolutely.
it's an unsaid thing, don't you think?
There's so many different times where the exact syncopation happens at the exact time where you're just like, well, that just happened.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't take that kind of thing for granted,
Yes.
and you can't practice that kind of thing.
Nope.
And
It's
that's
the
what
familial unimind.
it really is. The harmonies, the groove,
Yeah.
and the groove is the most important thing.
That's a fact.
It really
That is a fact.
If you couldn't groove, you wouldn't be in the band.
That's correct.
That's for sure.
Yes.
So tell me about the album that you just put out. I want to hear about that.
Well, the Blues Wreck. So I'd been doing some stuff with the Allman Betts family revival thing. So it's Devin
Right.
Allman and Dickie Betts' son, Dwayne, and an all-star cast of various different folks that get together. And I've always been a huge Allman Brothers fan.
Yeah.
I mean, like to the border of, well, whenever I get it, it's like that, it's that ADHD kind of hyper-focused thing. I hyper-focused in on the Allman Brothers years ago, and, and they've always been one of my favorites. So I started to get to know Devin just online. He'd watch some of my guitar demos and say, hey, what's the deal with this guitar? And so I saw they were going on one of their tours. And I texted him, and I can't remember what I said, but I said one of my sayings.
One of your quips?
Yes.
Yes.
And he goes, well, for that text alone, you're on the tour. So that's how it started. So
Wow.
I got on, the first year I did 3 gigs with him, and we just hit it off.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it'd be great to, and then he saw the band live. He lives in St. Louis. So we came through with the band, he saw the band, and he's like, oh my God, we need to get you guys out in front of more people, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, yeah. So we had this idea of, he has a label, but it's more of a collaboration that we're doing because he's got a lot of connects. He's got a great business mind. Yeah. And so we have kind of a long-term plan to how to just elevate our whole thing because I've always wanted to just have my own band and do my own thing.
Right.
And for years, all my stuff was, I always did that, but I also had, the Fender thing or the Hal Leonard thing or all these kind of things that were, I was always self-employed, but I didn't tour as much as just a musician.
Right.
To make my dough. And so now that my kids are older, my youngest is 21, he's in the Air Force, so he's not my responsibility anymore.
He's Uncle Sam.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you, Uncle Sam.
It's just been one of those things where, we got the unit together that can tour, so now it's time for us to just go out and play and scald brains, and that's what we're doing. Yeah. So
that's another good band name, by the way.
Scalding Brains. So
the next single off the band.
Exactly. Yes. So he had an idea of well, you've got 20 records out. Why don't we do a record where you put together 12 tunes from your past stuff, and maybe we have a couple new tunes on there, and we introduce you to a larger audience through his channels of propaganda and so on and so forth. So my stuff's kind of all over the map. I mean, I always say there's a soft underbelly of blues activity, but there's also this mishmash of as you said, country or chicken picking and some jazz and funk and rock and all that kind of stuff. So I decided because a lot of people come to the merch table and are like, "What's the bluesiest record you have?" Yeah. So I thought, well, let's just make it easy. Let's just call all my different records for literally as close as we can get to just standard 12-bar blues. Because usually I always got to be a wise ass and put fancier chords.
Yes.
And,
we call those the expensive chords.
Exactly correct. So came up with this list of tunes. I sent it to him. He's like, this is great. You got anything in the can that you haven't put out that's kind of in this zone? I said, well, as a matter of fact, during the COVID, I recorded a couple of these Muddy Waters tunes that I kind of revamped in my own way. And he goes, let's release these, but maybe we can get a couple special guests. And so Larry McRae did a duet with me on this one song on Can't Be Satisfied and played guitar on it. And then Jimmy Hall from Wet Willie fame and Jeff Beck and so on and so forth. He sings on another tune that You Can't Lose What You Ain't Never Had. And then we had the Memphis Horns, whoever remains of the Memphis Horns, they did a great job, by the way. Yes. Played on it. And so those are the 2 singles off the record. So tunes that hadn't been released, along with this assemblage of tunes that some are going back 30 years. Yes. But people,
so it's a little compilation, a little new, a little old.
Exactly. But it's just straight blues. And we're like, well, what should we call it? Of course, I'm thinking, we should call it Gristle Blues. And he's like, this Gristle's your brand, but maybe we differentiate this from your other stuff. And so I said, well, let's just say what it is. It's blues.
Right.
So it's just Greg Koch Blues. And it's been doing really well.
Good for you. A different way, just a repackage of what you've done and right on marketing for it.
Exactly.
Call it what it is.
Exactly. And then what's funny is people have been saying, really like the new record. It's so weird hearing you play normal music.
Normal.
Okay.
Well,
3 chords is normal music.
I don't believe you are a normal human.
Well, you know what? I try to be normal.
No, I'm afraid it's not working very well, not at all. I want to hear what the non-normal things go on in the Gristle Mobile with the 3 of you.
Well, the humor level is very high.
Yes.
I saw you in the back seat for a change.
Yes.
On social media. Was that yesterday?
That was it was my first time, Paul, in the back seat. And I got to tell you.
And I wanted to bring that up and see if you were comfortable with that.
What an opulent lair it is back there. All this time, Dylan's been bogarting the back area. And I'm thinking, oh, the poor child. He's sequestered to the back regions. But it's like you're enveloped in the soft womb of the road.
Yes.
And you're just kind of back there in your own little twilight realm of your own secret thoughts. The front is where the pressure lies. Do we make the right turn? Where are we going? In the back of your seat, you're like, I don't give a shit about any of this.
That's the Doritos.
Back here.
That's the Doritos.
A little tic-tac. Yeah. Ooh, there's Sakakaya, the lion of the Serengeti. Let's go watch that for a little bit. And it's great.
So is it just the 3 of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
You unload the van.
We do.
Oh, yeah.
Do you go, I'm going to get a coffee. Go ahead. You unload the van.
No, everybody's on it, man. I mean, it's it's a team effort to do that. Every
No, you ain't
single
hauling
night.
the B3.
No,
No, that
was me.
I don't touch.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
those
me
two
and Toby.
guys are at that because they're young.
Yeah.
Well, they can handle
Well, I
that.
was going to say, I mean, there is a hierarchy here.
Yes.
I refuse the B3.
Yes.
That's not happening.
Well, Toby can lug that thing around himself. I mean, he can get it on the stage.
As well he
everything.
should.
Yes. Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a huge dude, but his point of gravity wields that thing around
Yes.
with great aplomb.
Great power.
That's amazing. So, do you bring a house sound guy with, or do you use house sound?
We do not. We don't carry a sound guy with us. We show up with just the back line, and who's ever running sound is doing
Good
the
luck.
Right?
Well,
That's
look,
it.
what we tell people is that because we're loud as hell.
No.
There's just
No.
no two ways about it. It's a loud band.
What?
I mean, is it threshold of pain loud? No.
No.
But we play and we pound and we rock, right? So most of the time, it's like we tell people, especially if it's a smaller joint, we're like, listen, you don't need to mic everything because we're going to control our thing from the stage. Just put vocals in, and they'll mic. But a lot of times we showed up this one place in San Diego because we were looking for a place to route. We were doing this particular thing, and the only thing that was available was this place that was attached to the music union. It's called Dizzy's. It's kind of a jazz room.
Yeah.
But basically, it's just a long room where when they don't have music, they have like jazzercise classes.
I was going to say bingo.
So there's a pungent scent of foot when you go into this sound.
Really?
So we were going to load in at 6 o'clock. Like, we got to wait until 6 because the jazzercise is done at 6, and then you can load in. I'm like, what the hell? So we go into the place, kind of a scent of butt foot. And so we go in
Probably
there.
smells a lot like the Gristlemobile.
Well, the Gristlemobile, it's an opulent lair. I told you that.
I'm sorry.
It smells like delicious roses and butt. Anyway, so we show up to this place and we set up. They had a nice stage, and all they had was a vocal-only PA. And I was like, I wonder if anybody's going to show up. Well, people showed up in quantity. It was a great crowd, and we literally had no PA other than vocal PA. And it's what we do. You play like musicians listening to each other, and you blend. Oh, my God.
Yeah. No.
And people were like, oh, my God, it sounded so great with only a vocal PA. I'm like, yeah.
It's like you're going back to the old James Brown days where they just had vocal PA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we're in that situation, that's the best. But a lot of times, you get a guy who wants to use all of his toys, and then it's like, next thing you know, it's just
Mush.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word, isn't it?
It is a good word.
It's mush.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's poop. It's poop.
So how do you juggle? Do you still teach, right?
No, I do not.
You are not teaching at all now.
No.
What about the online academies and different things like that you have
Well,
out there?
I was doing as I say, Skype lessons. Although now it's Zoom, but I still call it Skype lessons.
I think you can.
But I was doing a bunch of that during the Cove, and then we started traveling so much that I couldn't really do it. But I've got all kinds of online stuff with TrueFire, and then I've got like 20 books with Hal Leonard with Jeff video components to it as well. So
you don't have to juggle that now.
No, that's not part of the routine. So I was doing that McNally Smith College of Music for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Because they made me an offer I couldn't understand. They said, because he was going to school up there, and it was not inexpensive to go to that school.
No, it was
I'm
not.
just going to throw that out there.
I worked at a competing school, by the way, at that time.
That's right.
Yes, I did. Minneapolis Media Institute.
Yeah,
I knew I
yeah.
could remember.
It's hard.
It's tough once you reach 60. It's like,
It is hard.
hell.
But I did that for a year, and then after a year, he's like, I don't want to go here anymore. I'm like, excellent.
Yeah.
'Cause I
wonderful
was
decision.
like, that is fantastic. Because I like teaching, but when you do workshops, I'll still go and do these guitar camps and whatnot, and still do clinics for companies where it's it's instructional as far as my playing, and I'll play some tunes, but also talk about gear and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you get spoiled because those are rarefied things where people really want to be there, and they're asking you questions. They know about what you do. But when you're at a school and you're staring at a classroom of people who are there maybe because their parents are paying for it, they didn't know what else they wanted to do or whatnot, and they're sitting there on their phones, and you're really passionate about what you're doing, and they're just kind of, and they're looking like the dawn of the dead, and there's like saliva coming down here, and you're just like, so I lost it a couple times, and I rarely lose it.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I said, they came in, and I was doing a survey of guitar styles from various different eras.
Right.
And it was part an oral history and part examples of the playing styles.
Yeah.
And it was fun to prepare because I was like, oh, this is cool. We can do this
Right.
and this and this. So I said, okay, learn one of these 2 songs and then write like a 1-page thing of what you thought was cool about this particular segment. So these guys all show up. There's like 12 dudes in the class and they're like juniors and seniors. And they show up and not one of them was prepared. And I looked at them and said, guys, I don't know if you're aware of this, but this business is almost impossible to succeed in, even under the best of circumstances. I go, and none of you are the best of circumstances.
Yeah. Oh, you
And
said that to him.
I did. And that, of course,
And that was your last day.
And of course, it meant nothing to them because they're like, what? What are these words?
Did you say something?
What are these words emanating from your pie hole? And then another time, a guy was on the phone, and I said, if you don't turn that phone off, and he turned it off.
Did he?
Yes.
Did he?
Yes.
You're quite a bit larger than him, I bet.
Yes, and frequently get angry. Or no, not infrequently get angry. But so it was, when it does happen, it's, I don't know, it's a little weird.
So you're done. You needed to take a break, get back to what you were put on planet Earth to do.
Which is to rock like a warrior of the night.
Yes, and that you do, my friend.
I try.
And with your son,
That's right.
Yes.
look at him.
He's a pirate.
There he is.
He's not afraid of it.
He's there. Look
He
at him.
wields a mighty sword of rock.
Yes, I have literally wielded a sword on stage.
Have you?
Yes,
really?
I have.
And then
Yes.
taken to jail afterwards, or no?
No, it was,
Okay.
what was that place? Swords and Dreams out there?
No, there's a place in Montana called 50,000 silver coins.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Silver dollars.
Silver
50,000 silver dollars. So if
Yeah.
you're ever going on 90 West, headed towards, Seattle, there's a
Yes.
place. We played someplace in Montana, and they said, where are you headed next? I said, well, we're playing at this Portland Blues Festival over the 4th of July. They're like, you've got to stop at 50,000 silver dollars.
You have to.
Yes.
The guy goes, they got everything there. He goes, I bought a sword. And then Dylan, I just see him get this look on his face like,
Uh-huh.
So we stop at this place, and by God, they have everything you could possibly imagine in this place, including a variety of
Swords.
And
Yes.
so he bought a sword, and so he gets done doing his drum solo at this festival and just stands up and grabs the sword and brandishes it and goes like this. And we got some nice footage of that. So it was glorious.
Oh, I'm so proud. Yeah, it must have been a proud father moment.
I was like, this is rock and roll.
Yes.
This is-
Okay, well, I know you have 3 other children. Are they musical?
They are. Yes. My daughter, Isla, actually, we're in the midst of doing a record with her. She's a singing, guitar playing, songwriting fool. And
Yeah.
this was kind of a relatively recent occurrence. She always was music theater oriented, as was my other daughter. And then when she went to school at the U up in Minneapolis.
Okay.
And she was going to go for theater, but then she thought, no, I'm not going to do that. So she gets a psych degree. And at some point, she was home for one of the holidays, and she goes, Dad, show me some chords. So I showed her some chords, and then I was like, well, if you want, you can take this guitar to school. Takes the guitar to school, and then, I don't know, a year or so later, we're moving her from one apartment to the next, and I see the guitar sitting there in the corner, and I pick it up, and I play a chord, and it's perfectly in tune. I thought, interesting.
That's a sign, isn't it?
Indeed. And then all of a sudden, she starts posting these songs on the Google, on TikTok, and it's
Yeah.
her singing and playing, and I'm like, what is this? She's got this little finger style pattern and she's singing. I'm like, what is this song, Alice? She goes, oh, this little song I wrote. And so I was like, holy catabwas. So next thing you know, she's got a whole bunch of tunes.
No kidding.
And then she was working up in Minneapolis, and then she got a job in Milwaukee, moved back home, and we're in the midst of doing a record for her.
Are you?
Yes.
Man,
And then my other daughter is, are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're very proud. She's unbelievably talented. She went to school for theater, and then she was in AmeriCorps for a while, and then she saved up dough, and she graduated Loyola in Chicago. She's a brainiac. We're like, oh, she's gonna be a lawyer. She's gonna be this. She can be whatever the hell she wants. I just want her to be happy, right? So she goes, I really want to go to this theater school out in California. I've saved up my dough. It's a physical theater school. It's basically clown school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she went and she learned this physical theater, and she got with this troupe of folks. And so they devise these shows that are very socially active.
Yeah.
And they try to make a point. They go pro stats there and there. So she's basically an activist clown.
Yeah.
Really?
Which is awesome, but it's a little bit weird in situations where like, well, what's Grace doing? I was like, well, she's an activist clown. And there is a place for everybody.
That kind of
ladies and
fits into
gentlemen.
your family, though.
That's correct.
It sounds right.
I'm an activist clown.
That's right.
I wasn't going to say that. But thank you for taking the plunge for me.
Yes.
Did we miss a child, or did I
And then,
just follow?
and then there's John, the youngest, who is now Airman Koch at Luke Air Force Base in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, where he is a aerospace ground equipment specialist.
Interesting.
Indeed. That was a little of an odd one. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Although I always have been a fan. I've always taken the kids to the EAA air show up
Yep.
in Oshkosh because I'm kind of an airplane geek. But,
So am I. We'll
yeah.
have to talk about that.
Yes.
I love him.
And so we always enjoyed that. And of course, my wife blames me that he decided to go to the Air Force. But, it was kind of because he was like, of all my kids, he was like in the most, like knew what he wanted to do. He was a biochem major, did really well in school. He was a chess champion, this, that, the next thing. And one day he was like, I'm not quite sure what I want to do. So I think I'm going to go into the Air Force and maybe see the world a little bit, make some dough. And then when I get out, I'll do whatever. We're like, what? You're going to do what?
Yeah.
And then we realized that he did all the different, he looked into it. It was not an impulsive decision. And he really kind of sussed it out. And then once I kind of came to grips with it, it's almost like I got a raise because I didn't have to pay for college anymore. Thanks, Uncle Sam. So
yes, that's very nice.
that turned out.
yeah, that's good. That's great.
And he loves it. We just saw him down there. He's digging it. So it's all good.
My son-in-law is in the Air Force as well.
Yes.
Down in Niceville, or actually Destin, Florida.
Okay.
My wife is there today celebrating the first birthday of my grandson.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, I am a grandpa.
That is
The grand.
the grandest of paws.
Oh, we
Yes.
must be done.
Gravity is a harsh mistress.
Yes, indeed.
Because we only have about 10 minutes left, I want to know about the millions of brothers and sisters that you had
Yes.
and what effect they had on you growing up, musically speaking.
Yes. Well, I was the youngest of 7. And my brother's the oldest. There's 5 girls, and then there's me.
Okay.
So I had a room with my brother, which I'm sure he was thrilled about, being 14 years my senior. But I was born in 66. So by all intents and purposes, everyone that I grew up with, for whatever reason, Gen Xers, they were like the oldest in their family most of the time. I was kind of a baby boomer by default because I was kind of a whoops, So I had older siblings, whereas most of my friends were not. They were all kind of the oldest in their family. And so they were all, they were like into bands like Kiss. Like when Kiss came out, they're like, oh, Kiss. I'm like, this isn't a band. What are you talking about? Cream's a band.
Hello.
Hendrix is a band. The
Right.
Allman Brothers Band.
Right.
That's a band, So when I was very, very young, for whatever reason, I just was like hoodwinked by Hendrix. I was like, and I have to take naps, and I would say, play this record, The Axis Bold as Love, because I'd like that little interview with, this is radio station XP, and they go into that thing, and Hendrix makes all those noises. I would have to listen to that. That Grand Funk Live record,
Yep.
I would listen to that. Steve Miller, Brave New World, all that kind of stuff. And Steve Miller.
I know.
There we go. And but I was a Hendrix and a Cream fanatic. I'll never forget, when my friends are over, we're running around the house raising hell. We go into my room, and my brother's sitting cross-legged in front of the little stereo console, listening to live Cream. And I'm like, what are these sounds?
Yeah.
And my brother going, this is Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce, and Ginger Baker. 3 of the best of their kind in the world at what they do, collectively known as the Cream. I'll never forget it. And I was like, holy shit, this is significant.
He was turning you on to the real stuff.
Exactly. So I always wanted to play guitar. I did a report on Jimi Hendrix when I was in 3rd grade, and which was weird for my teachers because they were like, what's wrong with this kid?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the teacher at the time, Mr. Stiebner. I'll never forget it. And he's like, well, let us not forget that he was a drug addict and promoted the drug lifestyle. I said, I said, he died of a drug overdose. I go, well, technically he died of barbiturate intoxication, which is the same thing that Marilyn Monroe died of. Did he like to have a little bit of ganj and a little acid and a little two to blow every now and again? Sure, who didn't? I'm in 3rd grade, so it was a little weird, but yeah. So it wasn't until I was 12 that I actually got a guitar. But it was my brother's record collection. But my sister Mary, from her, I got all the Zappa things. So part of the reason why I talk the way I talk is because I was listening to Frank Zappa, Apostrophe, Overnight Sensation, Live at the Roxy and elsewhere. I would listen to those on repeat. So I would just randomly say Frankisms.
Right.
And didn't even know what they meant.
And these guys probably thought if this was all you. Did you know that he was doing Frank?
The more I listened to Frank Zappa, the more 1 and 2 came together. Yeah.
Okay.
And they were Frank Zappa. I mean, we did that
yeah.
when you were 12 and Grace was 10. All they wanted to listen to was Live at the Roxy and
Isn't
elsewhere.
that something?
Yeah. That was the record. Yeah.
That's because you introduced all that great stuff to them.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So you take off, you start playing all this stuff. You're into all that kind of great music. When did you know that that was going to be your lifestyle and that was going to be it? Right away?
Pretty much right away. I mean, I took to it because I had listened to so much stuff early on, and my mom was a really good piano player. I mean, she took piano. She graduated from high school in like 1945.
Right.
So she would be around the house, and she'd just get behind the piano and she'd start playing stuff. And then I went off to music school. I thought I'd come back and hear Mom's pedestrian ramblings and think, oh, what is this? Trifling. And then she's making Christmas dinner or whatever, and she'd go in the other room and she'd start playing stuff. I was like, God damn, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, what is that stuff you're playing?
A
She
little
goes,
new appreciation for Mama.
yeah. She goes, oh, I just make it up as I go along. So she would just do random little flourishes and come up with songs. And she taught me the boogie woogie pattern when I was very young. So I had the 12-bar thing ingrained in my brain early on. So when I started to play, within 9 months, I played my first gig, and I just went from there. So about 2 years into it, I was convinced that I was going to rule the world. And that didn't quite work out, Paul.
Well, I don't know. I think you're doing pretty good.
I mean, it turned out okay.
I think
but
you're
I mean,
okay.
as far as, what I thought was kind of going to happen. But I'll never forget, I got in trouble when I was a freshman in high school. I went to this, because, my dad and my brother went to this all-boys Catholic high school where it's like, Marquette High School, beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I did not do well because, back then ADHD wasn't a thing that they recognized and gave you drugs for. You were just a problem. You know what I mean? And I excelled both as a problem academically and as a behavioral problem because I was a wise ass.
You were a twofer.
Indeed. And I'll never forget having a meeting with my parents and the vice principal and head of discipline and the vice principal and head of academics. And the one guy said, well, it's the opinion of the faculty here that Greg would just be pleased sitting in the corner playing his guitar somewhere. And they couldn't have been more correct because that's all I really wanted to do. And to this day, that's all I want to do. It's like, I want to hang out in the corner.
There's no question how you got to where you are because you spent all your time practicing.
I mean, as I say, I'm not in a dart league. I don't bowl.
You don't?
I don't bowl. No, it's true. I play guitar.
You look like you could bowl.
I play guitar and I reproduce is the bottom line. That's what I do.
Oh, man.
None of that is wrong.
If you could tell, well, you could already told some young players the secret sauce of what it is to be doing what you're doing at the age that you and I are at now. I know you tell your kids this, but what is your greatest advice for people who want to do this for a living?
I've kind of just come around to the thing of the love of what you do, the passion you have for the actual creation of the art has to so far eclipse the negative reinforcement that'll be pounded down your esophageal and other orifices on a regular basis.
He's not wrong.
And unless that love is so far superior to that negative reinforcement, then don't even bother. So if you're doing your first show and you get negative reviews and you're crushed and you're like, why am I even doing this? And you can't rebound and go, because this is what I do and everyone else can eat shite.
Yeah.
Unless you're to that point, then become a used car dealer or whatever.
Indeed.
Go to school and become a rocket scientist.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart, is it?
No, it is
but
not.
The rewards are incredible. Look at the rewards right here.
It's fantastic.
Sitting next to you.
Well,
right
people say often because they, there's the three of us, so we're working our ass off. We're driving.
Yes, you are.
We get to the gig, we're unloading all that gear. I unload all the merch, do the sound check, do the merch table before we even start playing. I'm working the merch table, talking to people, selling stuff, whatnot, doing what I got to do. People are like, God, that's a lot of work. I mean, I'm like, I don't think you understand. We show up. We're not playing at some place where like, oh, look, there's a band here. The only people that are coming there to see us do our thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We play early. We do our thing. People are only there to see us, to hang out with them. We meet people from all over the world. We eat wherever we want to eat. We stop wherever we want to stop.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. It's like every day you get up and like, I'm going to work my ass off today, but I'd rather do nothing else. And then we stay at the the warm bosom of the Hampton Inn. Yeah. And I wake up that next day and have a delicious repast of powdered eggs and mystery meat.
Yes.
And which just makes for a better story on social media anyway.
Exactly.
So that's true. Before I let you go, I do need to see what your NAM badge says. What?
It says Count Cocula.
That is his name. Isn't that perfect? You guys, this has been so much fun.
It's been a
chatting with
pleasure.
you
Thanks
guys.
for having us.
Yes, thank you.
EV wanted to thank you as well. They want to give you this great mic that you guys have been talking about.
Awesome.
Or talking into. You know, it's just so fun getting to know you. You and I have not really gotten to hang.
No.
But shall we commence the hang?
I think we shall.
I think it has already started.
It has
Yeah.
indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Greg and Dylan, Koch.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for listening. Music on the Run was created by yours truly, St. Paul Peterson. Recorded, produced, and mixed by Davide Rosso. And a big shout out to our fans on Patreon who make this podcast possible. We'll be back next month with a brand new episode. Until then, remember, do what Greg does. Keep a little gristle in your life. Makes things interesting.